Hello and welcome to another episode of Now You Novi. Welcome, Victor.
Welcome, Cheryl. Thank you for having me.
The headphones are going for me next time, my friend. They're going.
Okay.
It's the 90s hair. Or 80s hair, I guess. It's not even 80s, 90s, whatever. It just doesn't I feel like I got a big football bowl on my head.
It does not help your hair. No, I would agree.
So I didn't wear it last time. I wore it this time. So for those of you watching, it's going. We're going to find a solution. How you been?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Lots going on. We have a lot going, a lot of different events, lots of meetings. Yeah.
I was going to say, so when I said how you been, I'm thinking it's been kind of crazy since we've last chatted on the show, huh?
And I feel like we do this every week, but I feel like we last chatted a couple weeks ago, and there's a lot that's happened in a couple weeks. We've had several council meetings, and we've had other events. We got the State of the City that's coming up.
I know.
Lots going on.
I know. We talked about that last week, Damon and I. But a big thing that's consumed a lot of your time. Would that be an accurate statement? Is that fair?
It is an important...
Just say yes, it's fair.
Yes, that's fair. And what Cheryl's talking about is our annual budget, which is the city council's policy document. So yes, it will take up a lot of my time.
So we talked on the podcast, maybe a month ago, that we were getting ready, that you had presented a recommended budget and all that went into those efforts, right? So that started late last summer, early fall, goal setting session. We had our first budget meeting where council had their first opportunity to deliberate and look at the recommended budget. And then we had a second session as well. So they have met twice to talk about the recommended budget. Why don't we just give a Cliff's Notes version, a 30,000 foot view of where we landed?
Sure. So the first meeting we had was, again, as Cheryl said, was their opportunity to see the budget for the first time and then provide their feedback on that. They did that. They provided some feedback with respect to the use or the percentage of our fund balance, and that's kind of our rainy day fund. So they did not like where we landed on that, what we presented. So they asked us to come back at our second scheduled budget meeting to, as they say, sharpen our pencils and come back with a revised of that. So we were able to come back and look at different capital items and some other positions that we have gone unfilled, maybe push those off a couple of years and get that fund balance, that rainy day dollars, back up to a level that they're comfortable with. So that's where we're at now. They were happy with the recommendations we came back with from staff, and city council then was okay with that, and they have now moved on to the final stage of the process, is to have a public hearing about the budget where anyone can come and give their feelings on the budget before they ultimately pass it May 20th.
May 20th. What's the big sexy items in this year's budget? There are none.
Yeah, if you really want to talk about a salt dome, unfortunately, that salt dome is something that it's impactful, it's important, but it's just not sexy, and that's a reason why it was in the budget and was something we actually talked a lot about, because for so many years we've been kicking it down the road, and how our salt dome is designed currently, and it's 50 years old. A truck needs to go in there, scoop up salt, and put it in the truck that goes out and salts the streets. What we've proposed and we've been planning for some time is to have a conveyor belt in there that would then just automatically take the salt and put it in the truck by itself. So a front end loader wouldn't have to go in there. So that would actually give us more capacity in the dome and make the filling of our salt trucks a lot quicker. So again, we've always looked at other sexy stuff that council or staff want to get done. The salt dome's always been pushed off, but now we have to do it. It's literally being held together by Band-Aids.
So we're at the end of April. Salt dome might not be sexy right now, but mid-January, people might really think a salt dome is the bomb, right?
Exactly.
And what you described, Victor, is operational efficiency, right, too? So you had someone that had to actually physically be in a loader, scooping it up, putting it in the truck, that person pulled away. That person now that's not physically having to scoop it up and put it in can be out on the roads, additionally helping clear and treat the roads.
Yeah. And that might have been the same person. It might have been someone that pulled their truck up, get out, get into the front of the loader, then scoop it up, put it in there, and then take off.
Okay.
Because we might just not have enough staffing. It might have been a long storm. We have all the trucks on the road.
Sure.
So that's like, you're right, operational efficiency that we're trying to realize. And again, it just the money putting into the Band-Aids on the salt dome. That's what I presented on our second budget session, just showing the pictures of what's going on. The cement base of it degrading, and then the just wooden platforms that are kind of holding the roof together. So it's the only thing in the city we've really kind of neglected over the years. Everything else has been really maintained and held up to a standard that we hold very high. The salt dome wasn't, because again, it's just no one sees it. It's just in the back of a DPW garage. So that was one big thing that council really supported and wanted us to get done, but just a different pool of money to fund that out of. Instead of the general fund balance, we're able to use some road dollars, some drain dollars, and some CIP dollars. Yeah.
So other than that, which is was it scheduled in the CIP, correct?
It's gone everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. What big ticket items is there in this budget? Or is it roadways? Is it neighborhood roads? Like, where are we continuing to fund, and what do you see?
So we're still continuing our investment in the road network, our non-motorized plan. There's still the $800,000 in terms of sidewalks that we have programmed in every year. In terms of the roadways, there's some work that's going to be done on Beck that we're proposing in the near future. 9 Mile was supposed to get done this year between Meadowbrook and Haggerty. That's going to be pushed off until next year. We have another plow truck that we are trying to get scheduled and get done as well, because unfortunately, like everything else in the world, that stuff takes time. So we order it now, we might get it in 27. So the old days, we would order it and okay, it's a 6-month lead time. Okay, but now it's like 3-year lead time. So those are some of the big items that we have out there. We have a fire engine that's in the out year, but we're trying to figure out if we can get that ordered earlier, because again, it takes 3 years to build it. So again, there's been no big sexy item that we're talking about. Obviously, we talked earlier about City Council directing staff to start the planning process for a new police headquarters or admin building with a new fire station. So those are the big things that we're really working toward in terms of next year to figure out how we get those taken care of.
So it's the vision, it's so this budget really sets the stage for future visionary projects, or you call them maybe transition. Is that what you're calling? Transformation, not transition, transformation projects. So good stuff. Congrats on getting that, I want to say, close to the finish line, right? So the public hearing will be on May, what did you say?
I think the public hearing will be on May 6th, and
May
then
6th.
And then May 20th will be the
May 6th
actual
and 20th.
consideration where council then will ultimately vote on it.
So council will vote on the budget on the 20th, and then we actually take our time and compile all that, and the final budget will actually be put out on the website near the end of June.
Because it takes effect July 1st.
So July 1st, so that is for the next fiscal year, and then you're off to the races and starting the fiscal year 25-26 budget.
Yeah, so that we would be, it's kind of like early fall, like, we start July, and then almost like August, September, they start planning on 25-26. So it's that scary in terms of how we start getting all the quotes together and whatnot, because we got to always look ahead, and yeah.
We could leave the listening or watching audience with one thing. What would you say about Novi and its budget?
We said about it last time. We try to make this as the most informative, and accessible process, including our CIP website, the budget document, and making it readable, graphic heavy. We'll produce a video as well. We have these podcasts. So I think the budget is just not that document anymore. It's not like spreadsheets and numbers. It's all of that to try to help our residents and stakeholders know where their money is going and where their tax dollars are going to. So it's just all of that put together is our budget, and that's the video, print, media, everything together.
And you even made the suggestion on the website now consolidated one page. So you just don't have to read the budget document. You can follow the whole process. So cityofnovi.org has a budget development page, and you can find all of this information in one very succinct, easy way. The recommended budget, they can pull out your message, the video, so they can watch how council deliberated, etc. So easy peasy navigation and to find that information if you're interested in the city's finances.
Which we hope you are. But yes, if you ever have a question there, because we've had the conversation before, until you you maybe have a road construction in front of your house. You don't know until that comes up. So we want to make sure we get that information out there with the CIP, with the Planning Commission when they consider that, with the budget hearings, all that kind of stuff, so that you know what's going to our efforts are going to affect you on your daily life. So it might be a sewer project, it might be a road construction project, it might be a new park, something like that.
And we're so blessed, right? We look at the rainy day funds, and I liken them to the Malloy savings account, right? So it's, if you look at your household funds, your rainy day funds are like your savings, like rainy day. What if, what happens, etc. We're so blessed. We're so blessed to be able to have those rainy day funds and be able to continue to build upon that in case it's ever needed. But we're also blessed that we are so fiscally responsible with our funds that we aren't in the shape a lot of other communities are. We continue to make investments in our neighborhoods, on our sidewalks, in the infrastructure that's so important, that if a city doesn't have those basic elements, public safety, it's the foundation for who we are, right?
And that's what are able for us to make those revisions in the budget, because we are being proactive and replacing things before they get to the end of life, before they are dying, and we are, okay, now we got to buy a replacement. We are planning that out ahead of time so that we can make that replacement before it is obsolescent. Is that a word? Obsolete.
Yeah, I liked obsolescent.
It's the thought of obsolescence, but yes.
Okay, with that, let's take it away. What are you looking forward to? We got the State of the City. We got the Kentucky Derby this weekend. Well, not really. We have the Novi Derby.
The Novi Derby. Our friends of the Chamber of Commerce.
That are hosting. And then we've got the State of the City next Wednesday. So exciting stuff. And then we'll be off and going. We've got Take Our Kid to Work Day this week here. We've got a lot of stuff, fun stuff going on.
Are we going to video that at all? Or?
I think the kids are actually going to come in the studio. And Mayor Fisher's going to come in, and we're actually going to let them put him on the hot seat, or the hot sofa, if you will, and ask him questions. I'm sure he'll do great, just like you would, because you have young kids at home. Somebody like me, I might not know what they're talking about, but we're going to see what the kids come up with. And
I can only imagine. My little one will be there. She's the only one that has not participated in Take Her or Kids in the City. So I can't wait to see what she comes up with. I think we have 30 kids.
Almost 30 kids. Yeah. So it'll be a good time. Our poor Studio 6 team, when I told them we had nearly 30 kids, they're just like,
don't touch anything.
Don't touch the studio. But it'll all be good. So with that, now you Novi.
Thanks
Take care.